In this video, I'm going to clearly and systematically explain how the card and ball effects performed by Choi on Britain's Got Talent work. The performance begins with a carefully constructed scene. He appears holding an apple, brings it close to his lips as if about to take a bite, and then lets it drop naturally. What's astonishing is that instead of falling at normal speed, it descends slowly as if some kind of gravity manipulation is involved and ends up landing inside a hollow log prepared on the stage. As soon as this effect ends, Eden blows out a dense cloud of smoke, and almost immediately, a card appears in his mouth as if it had formed out of nowhere. Then, to the rhythm of the music, he starts producing cards at extremely high speed, throwing them one after another as if his hands were machines designed solely for that purpose. After this initial stage, he changes the overall pace of the presentation and moves into a part more focused on visual manipulation, where a white sphere appears and in an instant transforms into three different colors. Follow along until the end of the video, but first, give us a like. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Each color is displayed fluidly, transitioning from red to green and then to the final shade. Then, almost without transition, the ball begins to visually multiply in his right hand, creating the illusion that new spheres are generated directly from his palm. After this series of multiplications, Eden shows his hands apparently empty and yet produces another card. This card floats in the air as if suspended by an invisible mechanism, and when pressed with a quick gesture, it suddenly transforms into a white rod that disappears without a trace a second later. Later, he performs a visually striking transformation of a card, turning a 4 of diamonds into a 9 of diamonds, with a change so sharp that it looks like a digital effect. To finish, he releases the transformed card. It spins rapidly, changes color, and disintegrates into a shower of confetti, marking the end of the act. The central question is, what's behind all these effects? The methods are divided into 4 distinct parts. The first trick involves the apple descending in slow motion. This apple isn't just a prop, it serves a key function. When Eden brings it close to his mouth, you can see that he doesn't actually bite the fruit. What he does is inhale vapor from a hidden device inside the apple's structure, creating the smoke he then blows out at the start of the trick. The slow descent is also not a digital effect, but a mechanical setup using a nearly invisible thread. The crucial element is the system that supports this thread. Eden uses a retractable spool of invisible thread concealed inside his clothing. Here's how it works. The spool is attached with a clip that cannot be seen from the front. The thread exits the mechanism, passes behind his arm, and attaches to the apple. Since the fake apple weighs slightly more than the objects normally handled with these devices, it descends slowly because the spool tries to reel in the thread at the same speed gravity pulls it down. This combination creates a slow fall effect that surprises the audience. Next, we move to the part where Eden produces cards from both hands. This technique is known as perfect production and requires precise practice. The cards used aren't ordinary cards. They are made for stage manipulation. They are extremely thin and have a skin-colored back to blend with the hands. This allows the magician to hide and reveal them without the audience noticing the preparatory movements. Each card is held between the fingers and projected outward continuously, creating the illusion of endless production. Then comes the phase based on sphere manipulation. Eden holds a white ball in his right hand, but the secret is in the left. He has hidden a ball composed of several colored layers placed over a blue sphere. The white ball is strategically placed on this trick ball, showing the red layer to the audience. When he releases the white ball, he quickly catches it with his left hand while still showing the red layer, as if it were the same ball as before. He then rotates the trick ball to display the green color and performs another rotation to prepare the multiplication part. The multiplication works because the trick ball has several removable outer layers. Eden holds the sphere with his thumb and index finger and removes each outer layer to create a new ball. In this way, each layer becomes an independent ball in the eyes of the audience. Even though several of these balls contain only shells, they appear as solid, identical objects to the audience. After the entire ball sequence, we reach one of the most elaborate segments of the act, the card that seems to levitate and then turns into a rod before disappearing. This trick depends entirely on the design of the object used. The rod is built with two sides of opposing colors, one completely white and the other completely black. The levitating card is attached to the black side of the rod with black threads, sewn through the card and forming small loops at the edges. Even the back of the card is painted or covered in black, so it can be hidden easily at the right moment. The procedure begins when Eden extracts the rod from one end, holding it between his hands so his fingers can move around the card without the audience noticing the transition between the objects. The moment he releases the rod, the ends remain in contact with his fingers through the black threads. He then carefully inserts his fingers into the thread loops and separates his hands. This movement tensions the structure, giving the impression that he is compressing the card in midair. The key to the effect lies in what happens next. Eden rotates the palm of his right hand 180 degrees counterclockwise, and thanks to this rotation, the white half of the rod becomes visible while the black card is completely hidden on the side, not exposed to the audience. At the same time, one end of the rod has been attached from the beginning to an invisible elastic thread fixed inside his shirt. This attachment allows Eden, at the exact moment, to push the lower part of the rod inside his clothing. The elastic thread retracts the rod immediately, causing a clean and sudden disappearance. It works because the thread maintains constant tension, keeping the rod ready to retract without abrupt movements. The audience sees only a rod that vanishes mysteriously. After this disappearance comes the final part of the act, the visual transformation of the 4 of diamonds into the 9 of diamonds, followed by a spin, color change, and final confetti disappearance. This illusion uses two combined principles. The first comes from the Cadabra 2-card mechanism, a type of trick card with invisible threads connected to small, movable points behind the printed diamonds. When the performer pulls a hidden tab on the back, the points change position, creating the transformation effect. The audience doesn't notice that the number itself hasn't actually changed, because from a distance, the diamond arrangement is what visually dominates. The second part of the trick is based on a version of Cadabra 2 that incorporates a movable flap attached with weak adhesive. In Eden's routine, this flap is prepared to release with a quick wrist flick. When he spins the card, the flap detaches, leaving the card ready to be manipulated without the audience noticing. Because the card back is entirely black, Eden can discreetly rotate it against his chest and conceal the internal structure while keeping the illusion intact. For a moment, the metal tip inside his middle finger can even be seen as he carefully removes the mechanism. This small detail demonstrates that the trick depends as much on manual technique as on mechanical precision. After concealing the mechanism, the card spins on its own. This spin not only adds drama to the final effect, but also helps hide the last technical details. While the card is moving, it changes color thanks to the back layer exposed during the spin. Once the spin is complete, Eden makes a small finger movement to keep the remnants of the hidden device out of sight. Then, just as the audience focuses on the altered card color, he activates the mechanism that releases the confetti. The confetti had been prepared in advance and is released through a tiny, discrete system. As the card visually disintegrates in the air, the audience perceives the act as complete. At that final moment, no visible trace of the device or hidden material remains. All that is seen is a burst of colors falling like rain from his hands. This ending also conceals any additional small movements needed to put away the props. Each part of the performance relies on a mix of technical skill, carefully designed objects, and precise control of stage timing. Invisible threads, retractable spools, colored ball layers, hidden card flaps, and camouflaging colors all play a crucial role. The staging, lighting, and audience distance complete the setup so that no spectator can detect what's really happening. The construction of all these elements forms a routine where every movement is planned in advance. Nothing is left to chance. Hand positioning, spin speed, musical rhythms, body angles, and where the magician looks are as important as the props used. The result is an act that seems supernatural and fluid, though it is actually based on meticulous engineering. Behind the character lies only the mechanics making each effect possible. But the performance is designed so the audience never sees this part. This is the essence of well-executed magic, a combination of technique, preparation, and visual storytelling.
If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe to keep watching content like this. See you next time.